This video is designed to show you some of the more observable accessibility features in the built environment. However, just like with any other process designed to increase inclusion of people with disabilities, it's important to conduct accessibility reviews and surveys in partnership with people with disabilities or disability organizations from your community. You can do that by partnering with a local disability organization such as the Center for Independent Living. Remember though that even though you're conducting an accessibility review, that doesn't mean that you're in compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act requirements or other accessibility laws. While this video will discuss some of the more observable features in the built environment that make built environments accessible for people with disabilities, the more measurement you can do, the better. To conduct an accessibility review, you need some basic tools, such as a tape measure to measure height and width of different features, a digital level to measure the slope of ramps, and a door pressure gauge is used to measure how heavy doors are. These can actually be purchased online through a basic internet search, and the other two items you can find at any major hardware store. Evaluating the accessibility of your built environment is actually a very logical process. If you think about it, the first place most of us interact with when we come to a built environment is the parking lot or wherever we're dropped off by public transportation. So that's where you should start your review. When you're looking at your accessible parking spaces in your lot, you should have at least one van accessible space. That is a space that is 8 foot wide with an 8 foot wide unloading area. Depending on the total size of your lot, you will also need to have a number of car accessible spaces, which is an 8 foot wide space with a 5 foot wide unloading area. To find out more information about how many spaces are required in your particular lot, you can go to the ADA National Network site or go to adachecklist.org. Of course, it's important to remember that some of your participants in your program may not use their own individual cars. So you need to choose facilities that can be serviced by public transportation. Make sure before your program starts that you research different transportation options available to the public and make sure that you let participants know during the recruitment process what those options are. One of the more overlooked accessibility features of a facility is signage. Accessible signage allows for better wayfinding for individuals with disabilities and particularly for people with low vision or blindness. When you're evaluating the accessibility of your signage, you want to make sure you have raised characters that are high contrast and you have a braille description below. Signage should be mounted on the latch side of the door 5 feet above the ground. So for restrooms, some observable accessibility features include a 5 by 5 foot wheelchair accessible bathroom stall, also sink features that you can use with a closed fist, and covered or insulated pipes to protect individuals with paralysis from scalding. So the setup of your meeting space where you're having your program is just as important as your parking, your bathroom, or any other feature of your built environment. For participants using wheelchairs, you want to make sure you have spaces available for them to participate in the class. It's also important to set up the room so that everyone can see everyone else. And particularly, individuals who are deaf and hard of hearing should be able to see the facilitator or group leader. During the registration process, you want to make sure that you ask individuals about any needed accommodations such as assistive listening devices or sign language interpreters. Also during the registration process, you want to make sure that you ask about any needed alternate formats such as large print, electronic versions, or low text, high illustration versions of your materials.